All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of JT Talks LA. I'm your host, JT, or James Torillo, and I have two very special guests today from the Horns Up podcast. I have Johan and Colton. What's going
Yes,
on,
sir.
guys?
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
How we
Doing
doing?
good, doing good. It's a pleasure to have you guys on. Make sure everybody watch and make sure you guys go check out their podcast as well on YouTube, the Horns Up podcast. Um, I watched your latest episode. I think I watched it yesterday. Uh, Great stuff. You guys are putting out great content. I was telling
Appreciate it,
Colton
man.
that. Yeah.
Thank you,
So,
thank
Yeah.
but yeah, we're here to talk about the Rams, of course. Pretty much everything going on in Rams football. Uh, we've won preseason games so far. We got a win over the Cowboys. I don't know if you guys have any, big takeaways from that game or anything like that.
I have a
Anything?
couple of them. I'll just start off with probably the biggest one, Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett, he looked great out there. He looked like a whole different quarterback compared to last preseason. Last preseason, I know he had a couple personal things going on, but he looked lost out there. And he just stood out. He did a great job, not only making the right plays, but just managing the game overall.
Yeah. Yeah. He looked 10 times better than last preseason. I remember last preseason I had my friends text me like this Stetson Bennett guy, oh my goodness. But I mean, are we worried at all about the fact that he's starting in the preseason and Garoppolo isn't?
you. No,
Because yeah,
no.
because I've seen a little bit about that. Like maybe Garoppolo will start the season because of Stafford's back problems. How do we feel about that?
I've seen. I don't know if you follow, First and Tuna.
I don't think I do.
All right. Well, he's been a big advocate for Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's like, I think that God forbid Stafford doesn't start week one and potentially not even like week two or week three, he still says we can play championship level football with Jimmy Garoppolo starting. I don't know how much I believe that. I do think we can win some games, but if we're gonna win that week three game that I guarantee you everybody on the Rams has scheduled on their calendar against the Eagles, uh, I don't think you win that game without Stafford. You need a leader like him.
Stafford, he needs to play in the regular season. I mean, if he's really that hurt and if he's banged up, I'd say you might as well just sit him for the rest of the preseason and just have him ready for week one. Because I think that the only time we might even see Stafford is maybe for one drive on the last preseason game. But other than that, I mean, we're not really expecting to see him out there. So we might as well keep him healthy and keep him ready for when we do need him.
Yeah, I would be shocked if we saw Stafford in preseason, even if he was 100% healthy, because I mean he didn't play in the preseason last year, right? It was just Stetson Bennett and then Garoppolo, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Last
some
year.
or win.
Yeah, and win. That's right. So yeah, I highly doubt we'll see Stafford in the preseason, but hopefully he's good for week one. I know he's having those back issues. But speaking of Stafford, I was having a debate with my friend on our other podcast, the On Deck Sports podcast, and he was this episode hasn't been released yet, but he was saying that Stafford is not a top five quarterback in football. What are your takes on that?
I think that's the only thing that people can really hold against Stafford is his age, and then they'll also bring up the stats, which the stats, I mean, they don't lie, but at the same time, you kind of have to look at the overall picture. Last year, I know he didn't have too many touchdowns, but he played his first almost 5 or 6 weeks, the 5 or 6 first games without Puka Nakua and Cooper Kupp. So you kind of have to look at the big picture, but I think Stafford, he is at least a top 10 guy. I don't have a problem putting him in top.
Yeah. What about you, Colton?
Uh, I wouldn't say it's particularly a crime to keep Matthew Stafford out of the top five picture, but I think he should be in everybody's top 10. I mean, I don't think it should even be a debate. I mean, of course, 49er fans, they're going to be 49er fans, but I've seen Brock Purdy in top 10. I've seen a lot of people say Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff are both better than Stafford. I don't know. I I could maybe see Hurts, but I mean, Matthew Stafford's just a different QB archetype.
That was the debate we were having. That's how it started we were listing our top 5 quarterbacks, and he listed Hurts, but he didn't list Stafford. And I was like, there's no way Jalen Hurts is
Yeah.
better than Matthew Stafford. And that's not me throwing shade at Jalen Hurts or the Eagles or anything. It's just like the way I look at it is like if you switch the 2 quarterbacks, like let's say there was just a straight up trade, Jalen Hurts for Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Do the Eagles and Rams get better or worse? I think
Eagles
the
might.
Rams would easily
Yeah.
get worse, and
Yeah.
the Eagles would get better.
I
I think
think
you
the
guys agree.
Eagles would go undefeated actually with Matthew Stafford, or they would only lose maybe 1 or 2 games. Other than that, I mean, if you replace Jalen Hurts with Matthew Stafford, I mean, you're going from, a team that can be a dynasty to a team that is a dynasty.
Yeah, yeah, and that's not us throwing shade at Jalen Hurts. He's a very good player, but yeah, he definitely has the better team around him, I think, than Stafford does. He has the best O line in football, great receiving core, one of the best defenses in football. But overall, last year the Eagles were the better team. We'll have to see what happens this week or this season, week 3. Fortunately, this season we won't have my favorite Ram of all time, Cooper Kupp. How do you guys feel about him being replaced by Devontae Adams? Do you think Devontae Adams is the better receiver, or do you think it's a good move? What do you guys think about that?
I think losing Cooper Cup, losing the Super Bowl MVP, Triple Crown winner, it really did suck. Watching him go and just we knew it was coming up until it happened. It was pretty much determined, but watching him go, it was really it was hard to see. It was hard to swallow, but I think the wound has pretty much been healed by the addition of Devonte Adams. I think the Rams are going to get a whole lot better in the red zone because before Devonte, the red zone was pretty much mainly for Kyron Williams. Once you got in the 10-yard range, first and goal, first play, Kyron Williams probably 99% of the carry or plays.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the red zone play calling. That's like the one thing if I had to critique anything Sean McVay does, I'm not a
Yeah,
huge fan of how he coaches and
he
Yeah.
gets
how
too
he
cute in the red zone, man. He
I
he
agree.
tries to incorporate all these back corner fades, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I don't like
sometimes
it.
like in the last few years, like he'll throw up like years ago, I remember it would be like 3rd and goal from like the 6, and we're throwing up like a 50-50 ball to like Josh Reynolds. I'm like, we have Cooper Kupp, we have Robert Woods. Why are we throwing a 50-50 ball to Josh Reynolds? And then it would be the same
Yeah,
thing when we had like Puka and Cooper Kupp, like we'd be running the same thing with like when we had Allen Robinson
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I like Demarcus Robinson, but you got to go to your main guys in the red zone, I feel like. So hopefully they do that with Devontae Adams and obviously Puka.
Yeah, Cooper Cup. It was kind of bittersweet to see him go, but once I saw that we got Devonte Adams, it honestly just went away really fast. Especially with
Really?
how consistent Devonte's been. I mean, we've seen it firsthand, as Rams fans. The Packers, they used to destroy us when we play them. And Devonte Adams, he would always, there's that one play against Jalen Ramsey where he goes in the motion. Like Devonte Adams he's always kind of like pinched a little nerve for me as a Rams fan. He's always kind of like Adams is so good. Like he gets me mad. Now that we have him, it kind of it like washed away the pain that Cooper Cup left.
Yeah. It's a little different for me because Cooper Kupp is my favorite player ever. He's probably my favorite athlete ever. He's right up there with like Kershaw and Kobe. Those are my favorites. I named my dog Cooper after Cooper Kupp after we won the Super Bowl. So now I have a dog named after a Seahawks player, which is absolutely brutal. But that was the worst part about it. I was like, you know what? Wherever he goes, that'll be my second favorite team. And then he signed with the Seahawks. I'm like, well, they
yeah,
can't be my second favorite
yeah.
team.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
And
no, I mean, I hate
you
the
want to know what's
Seahawks.
funny?
What?
My grandparents they got a dog a while back, and they named it after Cody Bellinger. Named it Cody
Really?
Bell,
Oh, that's
and
oh, that's sick, but
it's
at
a
the same
girl,
time,
and
like,
they wanted to name it after a Dodger player, and they named it Cody Bell, and then
yeah,
he
now he's a
split, went to
Yankee.
the Cubs. Now he's a
Yeah,
Yankee.
yeah, now he's a Yankee out
Yeah,
of all teams.
Brutal.
So, yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. Week 1, we've got Houston on our schedule. I mean, never too early to talk about, our next matchup, which is the Houston Texans. How do we feel going into week one? Let's say hypothetically Stafford is good to go and he plays week one. How do we feel?
I think Stafford's healthy and everyone's healthy. I think that we can get this win pretty easily at home. I don't wanna undercut the Texans. I know they're pretty good. Last year they weren't as good, but I think the thing that's really gonna decide the game is the trenches. I know Matthew Stafford's gonna play a big part, but we've seen how bad the Texans O line is, and our D line is just like there's so much depth. Even our third string guys are they can be productive. So that's like the key point in the week one game for me. I think Stafford, he's not gonna have to make too many crazy plays because I feel like we're gonna be able to run the ball on them really solid. And you know how Sean McVay gets, he likes to get a little run happy once it's going well. But we could also set up the play action in between. And I think the defense overall, they could hold it down. So as a team, I feel pretty confident for week one. I think as long as we're able to control the line of scrimmage, then it's pretty much our game to lose.
Colton, what about you?
Yeah, I'm with Johan. It's really just gonna come down to the trenches, and uh, defense is gonna be the key factor too. It's both offenses, I would say, are pretty loaded. The Rams, I would say, have a better offense than the Texans. I don't think that should be a debate, but it's gonna come down to whose defense is gonna keep the intensity. It's gonna be it's gonna be whose O line is gonna keep up too, because we're kind of forgetting that the Texans have one of the better D lines in the league too. I mean, Will Anderson Jr., Daniil Hunter, lethal duo
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I definitely think it's one of our harder matchups to start the season. And I wish just like
for sure.
for once we could have like an easy, week one, just get our feet wet, get into the season with like an easy win. Even if we don't play great because it's week one, we still get the win because we're not playing a great team. Like last year we opened up in Detroit. We played really well, but Detroit's just a really good team and they beat us in overtime.
Right.
That if that game's not week one and it's later in the season, maybe we win that game. Like that's the only thing that worries me about this. If it was like a week 8 on our schedule, I'm saying yeah, the Rams are winning. I still think we're gonna win,
Yeah.
but I'm a little worried just because I'm curious to see if the Texans take that big step forward with CJ Stroud like I thought they would last year. Last year I thought the Texans would be like a 12 win, maybe even a 13 win team. I was really high on them. They ended up only winning like 10 games.
Yeah.
So maybe they take that step this year. Maybe they get to that 12 win mark. They win their division. Maybe they reach an AFC championship, something like that. Maybe.
Sure.
But we're gonna have to wait and see. Week one is always, kind of up in the air. You never know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen with it. So, but I think the Rams will go home with the win. What is one game on the Rams schedule this year that you guys have circled? Like you really want them to win. And obviously, this doesn't count. Let's not count like the 49ers or something.
Yeah.
We always want to beat the 49ers. What's one game on the schedule that you really, really want the Rams to win?
I mean, I could go with the obvious one, the Eagles game. I feel like every Rams fan has that one circled. They're going to be watching it. But I don't really want to take the easy option here. There's a team that they've been beating us for a while now. We beat them one time, but in the Sean McVay era, I think we're 1-3 against them. It's the Ravens. Whenever
Mm,
we play the Ravens, I feel like they just kind of beat up on us, and they're able to play their way against us. The Ravens, they like to run the ball heavy. They're a team that plays pretty safe, and Lamar, I mean, it's Lamar. It's hard to bring him down. But ever since Sean McVay's came in, I feel like we've had a really hard time against the Ravens, and they've just, every year they've just been consistently good. And I want this to be the year, where we could just beat the Ravens, by a touchdown or two, and it doesn't come down to the last play or we're not getting blown out. Because last time we played them, we all remember
should have
that,
won that game.
yeah, that block in the back on the punt return. I don't want to get into it. Kind of
Yeah.
makes me a little mad, but but yeah, the Ravens.
I broke an Xbox controller
Yeah,
for that game. I was pissed.
Yeah, I was furious during that game. I didn't even when I forget who returned it, but the guy that returned it on Baltimore, when he had the ball and he like got past the last guy, he wasn't even in the end zone yet. I walked out of the room. I was done. I knew he was gone. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, because at the time we were 6-6, and
Yeah.
Baltimore was one of the best teams in football, and it was in Baltimore. So that would have been a really, really great win. It would have been such an impressive win for us, put us over 500, which thankfully, we ended up winning out anyways and making the playoffs, but could have could have been different. We could have been 11-6 instead of 10-7. You never know. You never know. We get a different matchup in the playoffs that isn't Detroit. Maybe we get to the second round, who knows? But yeah, that was definitely a heartbreaker. And of course, there's the game, what was it, 44-6 back in like
Yeah.
2019 that they beat us.
Yeah. Yeah,
That was
The Ravens, they've had our number for a minute now. And I didn't want to take the Eagles, or the Lions, because both of those are like pretty circled games for Rams fans, but I wanted to throw one out there that I feel like not too many people are thinking about right now, but when it does come around and you kind of get those little flashbacks to the Rams versus Ravens, it's going to be like, okay, I want to win this one pretty bad.
yeah. I absolutely agree. I think that's a great pick. What about you, Colton?
I was actually going to take the Ravens, and I think again, yeah, like Johan said, I think the Eagles and Lions are too, I would say, too mainstream. I think everybody wants to win those games. Man, I don't. Oh,
Titans
who do
maybe?
we play?
I mean, I think those are probably the top three, I would say.
Yeah,
Baltimore,
I would
Detroit,
say
and
probably
Philly.
Eagles, Ravens, Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm in Eagles territory here in Jersey, so I have to go with the Eagles because the amount of friends I have that are Eagles fans is kind of crazy. So we lost them twice last year. We got blown out, and then a heartbreaking playoff loss. Probably, besides Super Bowl 53, which, the words 13-3 are banned in my
Yeah.
house, but besides that game, that's my least favorite football game ever. I mean, that was just brutal. I was heartbroken. So I got to go with the Eagles week 3. They could go 3-14 this year with their only wins being against the Eagles and Niners, and I wouldn't even be that mad. But as long as they beat those teams, man. I mean, obviously, I do think this team is capable of doing great things. Obviously, I'm joking when I say I'd be okay. They'd be 3-14, but I really want them to win those games specifically against obviously San Francisco. We always have that circled on our calendar, always. And then obviously the Eagles as well, especially in Philly again, just like it was in the playoffs.
It's going to be
So
tough, but
it is going to be
last
tough.
year Last year they showed a lot of heart. They showed that they want to win that game, and I think this year the team's just gonna come back with enough, enough firepower to knock them over and say, you know what, we're not gonna get swept 3-0 against you guys. We're gonna take.
Yeah, I love it. If I had to give a prediction, and I've been saying this since the schedule came out, I've been telling all my friends that are Eagles fans, all my friends that aren't Eagles fans, just anybody that follows football, I've been telling them, I think the Rams are going to lose to the Eagles week 3 in Philly, and then they're going to go back to Philly in the NFC Championship, and they're going to beat them. That's what I
Prepare.
think is going to
Yeah.
happen. If look, I know the NFL's not scripted, but if it was, that's how it should be scripted. Another nail biter week 3. We obviously I'd want them to win both, but like we lose week 3, we come back, we beat them. They're the let's say they're the 1 seed and we're the 2 seed going into the playoffs. We go to the Link NFC Championship, we beat them. Yeah, I don't care if it's snowing, I don't care if it's not snowing. We take them down. I think something like that would be really cool because it would remind me of what happened in 2019 against New Orleans. They beat us in the regular season. We went back to the Superdome in the NFC Championship and we beat them in overtime. So that's my prediction. I think the Rams beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship. I don't know what you guys think, but I think this team is capable of doing great things.
Yeah, I feel like this Eagles rivalry is starting to kind of feel like that Saints one. For
Yeah.
a couple of years, the Rams and Saints, every time you see that they're playing each other, it's like, oh, here we go again,
Hmm.
another shootout, another one you have to watch to the end. But I feel like the Rams need to win at least the week 3 one to really make it a rivalry. Same thing with the Lions too. I feel like we're starting to build a small rivalry there, but we need to take one from them. So for predictions, it's hard to say right now because there's a whole season to be played, you know.
Of course.
But I feel like the Rams hopefully make it to the Super Bowl. I think they're definitely NFC Championship worthy though. Whether it's the Eagles they meet at the NFC Championship or the Lions or whatever team it is, I also think they're gonna make the NFC Championship. But just for fun, I'm gonna go ahead and say that we host Detroit at home and we beat them.
Nice. I like that. I like that. Colton, what about you?
I'm kind of with Johan, but I do think whatever team we play in the NFC Championship, I think we might lose. That's just my prediction. I still think we're missing a corner on this team. I really think that say we do play the Eagles or the Lions, I think if we don't make a trade deadline move, I think since it's not going to be snowing against Philadelphia, I would hope. Uh, I think their passing attack will get to the secondary. I don't think the secondary is good enough. I hope it is. I hope they prove me wrong, but as of right now, I'm just not that high on the secondary as a lot of people.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I honestly I agree with you. I'm not too high on the secondary, but the one thing I will say is I think Akella Witherspoon is very underrated, and I think if you had to pick a flaw in our defense, I actually think our middle linebackers are a bigger problem probably than our secondary. And I'm not trying to hate on any of our middle linebackers, anybody on the team, of course, but I think that that is a piece that we are definitely missing. I think Ernest Jones would have been a
Miss
great
Jones.
solution for that. I really wish that didn't fall through. That was really unfortunate. But the other thing that you were saying about the secondary, I thought for sure I would have bet good money that we were going to get Jalen Ramsey back. I really thought it was going to happen. I really thought it was going to happen. I have a friend who's a Steelers fan. I told him you're going to love watching him play. I know it's not like, it's not 2020 Jalen Ramsey anymore, but still, Jalen Ramsey is a great, great player, and he's a lot of fun to watch, as especially when he's on your team. So I would have loved to have him back. I still have my Jalen Ramsey jersey. Would have loved to, bring that out, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So, did you guys think that there was any chance we were going to get Ramsey back?
I thought we were probably the we had the best chance of getting him. I remember the night we got Jalen Ramsey. I think I said this on our podcast, Johan, but
Yeah.
I remember the night before that the Steelers traded for him. I remember I was about to go to bed. I check my Instagram and I see a post by somebody and it says the Steelers are not expected to be a potential trade suitor for Jalen Ramsey. I'm like, all right, so I think now that really just leaves us and it next day I see it and I went in the morning a, like see I'm it's making me sad again. I went into mourning and I was just devastated for the rest of the day. I tried to eat a bowl of Fruit Loops to make me happy. Not even the Fruit Loops made me happy. So
There you
no,
go.
I really thought we had the best shot at getting him.
Yeah, I feel like we might still add a corner. I can't say when, you know. It could be before week one because there are a lot of vets right now who are still free agents that they're just waiting for camp to go by because they don't want to risk getting hurt. Like we've seen, you know, there's been so many injuries already in the preseason and training camp. So there's a small chance we still get one before week one, or maybe at the trade deadline, and you know, if there's someone that they have their eye on. But I feel like the Rams, they're kind of just telling us that they have faith in some of these younger guys in the DB room, like Emmanuel Forbes, like Kobe Durant, and that they trust them to step up this year. Which I mean, it feels good that the Rams trust their own players. I mean, I hope they do, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, if Jalen Ramsey was on this defense, they would probably be considered elite. I feel like right now they're like very good, but this defense, it's one piece away. Whether it's a middle linebacker, which Nate Landman's been looking good, but he still hasn't played a game yet. But I feel like we're missing one piece still in this defense to really be considered elite.
You think there's any chance that the rumors are true about Micah Parsons? I doubt it. I don't think there's any
Yeah,
chance.
I don't believe that for 1 second. It would be really cool, but I think the price that we'd have to give up for him would almost not be worth it in
Yeah.
in some cases. Like I think you'd have to give up Byron Young or Braden Fisk or potentially both, and then on top of that, give up draft capital and give him a new contract. The it would be a lot, but
We have a lot
I
of
think
guys
we're already
on the D
set with
line.
edge rushers.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys in the D line too that are they're gonna have to get paid soon. And if we had Micah Parsons, just think about it. Once we're not even gonna be able to keep all these guys. We're gonna have to pay Jared Verse, Byron Young, Braden Fisk, Micah Parsons. Like when that time comes up, this defense, we're only gonna have like maybe two or three of those guys left. And Kobe Turner, he's another guy who I forgot.
Yeah, Kobe Turner. There you go. Yeah. I mean, I love the talent that we have on defense, but like you guys said, there definitely are missing pieces. There's definitely some holes to fill. I'm hoping that so right now, me personally, because Cooper Kupp was my favorite player, I'm a little mad at Les Snead, but he could make it up by going out and making great moves at the deadline like he did when we won Super Bowl 56. Went out and got OBJ, went out and got Von Miller, made a lot of great moves to fill the holes that we needed because Robert Woods went down, so we went and got OBJ. We went and got Von Miller. He made those moves that really put us over the hump to win a championship. We did. I'm hoping something like that happens this year at the deadline. We just need to be in a good spot so we can be, go all in basically like we did a few years ago. So I'm looking forward to it. And I want to do one more thing before we wrap this up. I want us all to give a hot take, obviously Rams themed. It can be. I hate to put you guys on the spot. I'll go first
No,
so
you're
that
good.
you guys can think about it for a second. But I think Puka Nakua wins Offensive Player of the Year. Yes, yes, that's
The
my hot take.
king.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think, especially because I'm not saying Cooper Kupp was holding him back, but I think now, I think Puka really has the chance to be like the clear-cut wide receiver one over Devontae Adams. I really do think he can be that guy. Um, so yeah, I think Puka wins Offensive Player of the Year. I see him having obviously not like a 2021 Cooper Kupp year because that was just like
That
the
was
best
crazy.
year a wide receiver's ever had, but kind of like the same vibe where he just has like a career season and takes us to the Super Bowl. I really do think that's possible.
I
So what
think
about
it'll
you
be
guys?
a good thing for Devontae too to kind of like take a back seat. He could be the 1B guy, and it
Yeah,
takes some pressure off him because everywhere he's had to go, especially last year with the Jets and the Raiders. I mean, it was just, oh, where's Devontae? Devontae, Devontae. Now it's like he doesn't have to be the only guy getting all the work in, so it'll probably
yeah.
help him out more.
Takes a lot of pressure off of his shoulders for sure.
Right. You
Yeah.
want to go? You want to go first, Rune, with your hot take?
I'm gonna kind of go with you, James. I'm gonna go same idea as you, but the opposite side of the ball. I think Jared Verse wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Love Jared
He's
Verse.
he's putting some work this offseason. He said he left like 4 or 5 sacks on the table last year, and I think he's just extra hungry. So I think he's going to get the sack count up. I think he's going to be a better player in his sophomore year than
Well,
his rookie year.
if you
That's just me.
yeah.
I might have the Florida State bias, but that's I think he's got it. I think he could win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, I love that take. I think there's a great chance that that happens. Last year, I think Jared Verse could have had 3 times the amount of sacks because sometimes he just gets through the line so quickly that he actually gets through too quick, and he's going so fast that the running back just like goes right
Yeah.
by him. It's crazy. Like I can't count how many times last year I'd be watching the game either with myself or with my dad, and I'd be like, oh, like he almost had him because like
Yeah.
he goes through so quick and the running back is like not even there yet. Like so I think he has the potential to be, one of the best defensive players in football. And yeah, I think that's a great take, Colton.
I feel like the stats don't really show how good he really was last year. Because a lot of people, they'll see 4.5 sacks, or I think it was 4.5. They'll see 4.5 sacks and be like, wow, this was the defensive rookie of the year. He's not even that good. But if you were really watching the Rams, I mean, you saw what an impact he had.
Yeah, 100%.
Stat sheet watchers, I hate them. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
hate stat sheet watchers, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
Let me go ahead and get into my hot take here. I
Hmm.
think that Kobe Durant takes over as the CB1, and he really solidifies himself as this
Okay.
team's best DB.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I'm a big Kobe Durant guy as well. I really do. I mean, I could say that about anybody on the Rams, but like, you know what I'm saying? I love that take. I think that's sick. Yeah. I was a big fan of him originally, back in like 2022, his rookie year. But yeah, that's a great take.
Yeah,
I love
Kobe
it.
Durant, he's pretty slept on. I mean, this whole cornerback room is pretty slept on. And I was thinking about saying Forbes, but I haven't
Mm,
seen enough out of Forbes yet. I want him to
right.
break out. I think he plays decent, but he doesn't truly break out this year. And the guy in the corner room that does have the chance to do that is going to be Kobe Durant. I mean, he has all the playing time. He has all the opportunity this year. So hopefully this is the year he could finally put everything together and solidify himself as a really good number one corner.
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna give one more quick hot take. Colton and I were just talking about this right before you joined. My jersey. I'm a big Michigan fan, so I do have a Blake Corum jersey on.
We
Um, I think Blake Corum scores his first career touchdown in the regular season, week one against the Texans. That's another very oddly specific hot take. Definitely not biased whatsoever. But yeah, that'll be my other hot take. But yeah, I mean it was a pleasure having you guys on JT Talks LA.
Yeah,
I
we
just
appreciate it, man.
restarted this podcast.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
bro.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you guys are doing a great job with the Horns Up podcast. I think it's awesome. There's not too many Ram fans out here in New Jersey, so I love to talk to Ram fans whenever I get the chance. So
All right, man.
it was a pleasure having you guys on. You guys are always welcome on the show. You guys know your stuff, and I can't wait for the next time. Go Rams.
Yes, sir. Thank you, JT. Thank you for having us on.
Thanks, bro.
It's a pleasure being here. Make sure to check out the Horns Up podcast on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So yeah, make sure to go check us out. We're pretty much everywhere right now. We're trying to show some love to the Ramley, and we're trying to make a little name for ourselves. So yeah, thank you for having us again, JT. We appreciate it, and hopefully we can get back on soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. See you next
Thank
week.
you.
Yeah, thank you.